Morning, Andy Henderson here. A life coach, a career coach, and a business coach walk into a bar. I'm sorry, there's no punchline to that, but it's true. This is what actually happened. A life coach, career coach, business coach walked into a bar. Guess what happened? Well, I'm going to tell you in a minute. Andy Henderson here, your Sherpa guide from Forward Thinking. I'm out and about today. I'm with a good client of mine and some good friends at PM&M Accountants, Success GPS in them, but today's live is a follow-on from Monday, really, explaining more about forward thinking, about Success GPS, and about it's deeply impacting the lives of people, and it's expanding. We're expanding what we do. And some of you might think, well, what the bloody hell gives you the right, Andrew, to preach and to help these businesses and tell us all that you can help us, and help these career people and tell us all you can help us with that stuff? What gives you the right to kind of do that? Well, I'm on a mission to help 1 million people, as you know, and that requires a great deal of effort, and it requires a great deal of purpose. It requires the work that I do to have a lot of meaning to me. And where do I get the meaning from? And typically a lot of people in the space that I work in derive their meaning from lived experiences. They've got lived experiences of the challenges that they now seek to solve for others, so others don't have to suffer. So I suppose, when I look back at what I've created and what I've done and who I've been in the past, all the roads, or that one singular road, when you look backwards, it almost seems like it's been contrived to get you to this point. I look through the challenges that I've had in my career, the challenges that I've had in business, and those challenges that I've had are exactly the challenges that I want to solve. Help you solve for yourselves, for others, whether it's a business person, whether it's a career person, you're professional people, right? And I am a professional. I've been a professional in the past, and I've been through a lot of hardship with a psychological hardship about the things that I've gone through. And when I look back, being MD to quite a young age of a large business with lots and lots of lives at stake, lots of people we had to look after, and people relying on us. And we were failing as a business. We were failing. And, some of the stuff, soul-searching failure, almost got to the point where I lost hope and lost belief in myself, my team, and my purpose. And I felt lost. But the things that we implemented, hi Mark, nice to see you. The things that we implemented back then in the business, really had a dramatic impact on not only the business, but the people within it, the people's psychology, the mental health, their mojo, their self-belief, their confidence. And, as we were growing, as we got through that, I started to learn some of the things that we were doing that actually made a massive difference. Listening to our people, creating a compelling vision of the future, helping to communicate that and creating belief in the organisation so that people felt like they belonged and that journey was meaningful to them. And it was an amazing experience. But when you were going through a time of failure, when nothing was working, we were trying everything in the business. We were trying everything hi Katerina, we were trying everything to get the business moving from A to B, and it just wasn't going out. We were at £12 million revenue, and it just wouldn't go any further. We had great people, loads of potential, but we couldn't find a way to unlock it. We couldn't find a way to get this potential, unleash it on the world. Not just to make more money, but to make us feel good about who we were and what we were doing and our mission that we were on. It was like torture, and it got to that point, 7th of January 2013, 7 minutes past 9 in the morning. I'm sat in my office, I've got my head in my hands, and I'm tired, I'm stressed, I feel like a failure, I've lost belief, all that sort of stuff. Probably drinking too much, probably searching for distraction too much, and because I couldn't find a way out. But we found that way out by talking to each other, creating that compelling vision, creating the goals, communicating it out to the team, and creating a strategy to get us from A to B. That point where we really felt really bad and the business wasn't performing, we plateaued, in fact we were going backwards. We wanted to be in a great place where customers were coming to us, new people, new skills were attracted to us. We wanted to create an aspirational brand. We wanted to double in size, and we wanted to create more impact with the customers that we served. That was an IT business back then, and we did. We went from 12 million to 14.6 to 19 million to 24.6 in 3 years. It was amazing, a great feeling. But then the second thing, so that's related to my Success GPS for business. I help businesses, whether you're startup, pre-start, startup, mature, anything between 0 revenue and 200 million I've worked with. I've worked with 300 businesses in the last 3 years. And the results have been palpable, not just in terms of financial results, but feelings and thoughts. The mindset's improved, they're thinking of the future. They're ploughing towards that place that they want to be in the future, and the business is a vehicle to get them there. But then when we created that amazing business and we grew, and you know, it was a great time. But I was tired. I'd had enough. I'd worked in that business for 20 years and I'd been MD for 3 years, and I just looked at the future and I thought, I don't want to be in this place for another 20 years. I don't want to do this job anymore. But because I was highly paid, and you know, I had a team to look after, I couldn't figure out how I was going to escape. You know, I felt trapped. I felt isolated. I felt, you know, in business meetings we're having, I was sat there thinking, I just don't want to be here. I just don't want to be here. I feel trapped. There's something more to life. I was searching, you see. There was a void inside. There was a big gaping hole inside me, and I was searching to fulfill it. And yeah, I drank too much and I ate too much and I didn't look after myself, and, you know, just searching for distraction all the time because there was no other way. You know, in the job that I was doing, I just couldn't figure out how I was going to get out of it, let alone what I was going to do if I did, because it was part of my identity. So, you know, I hit this moment, and it was in February. No, it wasn't. It was in January 2017, just after Christmas, and I thought, I cannot suffer this anymore. And it was a Sunday night, and it was about 7:30 at night. I remember sat in my kitchen, and I felt awful. I felt stressed. I was absolutely at the edge of tolerance. I was something had to change, and it had to change quickly. Otherwise, something dramatic was going to happen to my health, probably. I really felt that, and you know, lots of soul searching with my wife and my family, and you know, a lot of them were like, you know, just stay with it. You know, you're earning good money. You don't know you're born. You know, and I'm like, no, I don't feel this anymore. I don't want to do it. I feel wretched. I just want to do something different, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I was sat in my kitchen 7:30 Sunday morning, and I'm like, Sunday night, and I had a decision to make. So I thought, okay, if I left my corporate career, if I left 20 years of doing this, the high pay, the respect, and all that sort of stuff, the status, the egos, the fast cars, you know, all that sort of stuff that we all chase that stuff, right? Or we all did before life had more meaning. And I sat there and thought, right, okay, this is the decision-making process I went through. I kind of sat there and thought, right, okay, so if I do leave, if I do cut the cord, and I don't have a job, and then no one wants me because I don't understand my value, and I don't get a job for 6 months or a year, and, you know, we end up having to sell the house because we've no money. And then we have to move in with the in-laws, my wife's in-laws, because they're quite local. They have a big enough house. They could have fit us in. And I projected that, and I felt about the future, and I put myself into that space, and I thought, what does that feel like? Okay. And then I thought about imagining my life in a year or two doing the same thing. And I compared the two feelings that I had. And do you know what? Leaving was the only choice, because it felt better for me to imagine my life like that than it did at that time. So how does that relate to the work I do now? Well, the first bit I told you about the story was about the business, about how the business was failing, it had stagnated, it was going backwards, and what we did to create a change, to create belief, and to create a high-performing team, because we grew from 12 to 25 million with 20% less people, because we created belief in high performance. That's what I teach with Success GPS for business, from pre-start, startup, mature businesses, large businesses, everything in between, in any sector, it works. And then the second part of the story was my decision-making process about having to leave a career that I felt trapped in. You know, we sold the business, I ended up with the acquiring business, and I just could not work anymore for that same company. It was not right. Something inside me was saying, you've got to fill this void, Andrew, and it's not the work that you're doing. I needed some meaningful work. I needed work with meaning. I needed to follow my purpose, but I didn't know what my purpose was. So that's why I've come to create Success GPS for careers. Because there's so many people out there right now who are trapped in their career. They've been doing their job for 10, 15, 20 years. They're looking ahead for another 20 years and thinking, I'm not sitting at this desk for another 20 years. Hello, Helen. And I created Success GPS for careers with Lee Chambers and Kirsty Nicholson. Both of them are on board. I didn't know them before January this year. They came into my world because they'd seen some videos and some posts and whatever, and they thought, I like this guy, I like what he stands for. And we literally walked into a bar together, and we sat down and we had a chat about the future, chat about our ambitions, chat about our missions and our purpose and what we want to really do in the world, and we just clicked. And now we've got a business together, and we're helping professional people not only with their businesses, that's Success GPS for Business, but we're helping them with their careers and their life choices and creating a life plan, a life map to get from where they are to where they want to be. Because listen, every human being is at point A right now, and every human being wants to be at point B, but not every human understands the process that we need to go through to get from point A to point B. And it's dead easy, honestly. I know it doesn't feel like it, and I don't want to be patronising at all. That's not how I roll. But once you know this, it becomes an easier decision-making process. And it's 6 things that you need to consider. You need to really understand where you are right now. What's your start point? You really need to really understand where you want to be in the future. Point B, your destination. What do you want your life to be like? How does your business or your career need to perform to give you that life? Yeah? And then once you've got those 2 points, you've got a start point and a destination, then you start to break that down and create a series of goals. Doesn't matter whether they're business goals, life goals, financial goals, career goals, knowledge and growth goals. The goals that we create for Success GPS for Business are slightly different from the one for Career GPS. Step 4 is all about how you're going to get there, because once you know where you are and where you're going and you've broken that journey down into chunks, you need to create the how. How do I get from there to there in small steps? And that's where the unique mechanism comes in. Step 5 is all about creating a 12-point action plan to get from where you are now to your 1-year goals. Literally, it's dead easy, because you look at those 1-year goals once you've reverse engineered that journey, you think, I can do that, I can get there. That 10-year one is a bit big, but that 1-year one, I can get there. All I need to do is take the first step. There's 12 steps to get you from A to B. They're your steps, they're not mine. I don't tell you what to do, I only ask questions, because that's the art of a good coach, a good Sherpa guide. And once you've got step 5 nailed down, a 12-step plan, you've got clarity. And all we need to do is step 6 then, and create small, measurable, what we call the vital signs to measure your progress every day, every week, to make sure you're doing the things that your heart and your mind say you need to do to get from your point A to point B. And that's the essence of Success GPS, right? So we've got Success GPS for businesses, 300 businesses work with, awesome. We've got Success GPS for careers, that's me, Kirsty and Lee, amazing people that came into my world rather serendipitously, but coincidence, omens, call it what you want, but we connected through our shared passion for helping people. We've got Success GPS Health coming. It's coming in January, February, and that's to help people improve their mind and their body. Because professional people very often don't look after themselves. They look after everyone else first, their customers, their employees, their family. They put themselves last. But really, in order to give the most, you've got to look after yourself. You've got to be selfish. You've got to look after yourself first. So Success GPS for Health is all about getting you from a mental and a physical state A to B, your destination. And we do that within 3 months, and that's with Ben Clifton. We've got Success GPS Numbers, which is brilliant, and that's with Gordy Smith. So, your accountant now, if you're a business person now listening, you've got an accountant, right? I'm guessing they hardly speak to you. Am I right? I'm guessing your accountant hardly communicates. I'm guessing they only communicate when they need something from you. But what if you need something from them? What if you need more to be more closer to your numbers? What if you want more insight into your numbers so you can make better decisions? Well, Gordy and I are collaborating on a way of working with business customers to make sure they're close to their numbers and make sure they've got the action steps at the right time to get those numbers to where they want to be, so then they can efficiently withdraw some of that money and invest it in the right things for their personal wealth. Because it's all right having your business that's healthy and making money. What are you doing with that money that's sat in the bank? We need to get that working for you. Otherwise, your money's just sat on the couch eating cheese pasties, watching bloody Netflix while you're working bloody hard. You're working 70 hours a week. We need to reverse that. We need your money working as hard for you as you are for it. So that's kind of today's message, really. It's a bit about, what gives me the right to preach and to teach people what's going on. And it's because I've got a huge amount of lived experience in the business world and in the personal world for the career stuff. I haven't got much experience in the health space, but I'm embarking on that health GPS journey myself before we go live with it. So you'll see some of the results. So a bit of an insight into my world, my past, and what we're doing in the future. And of course, we want to impact the lives of 1 million people. And it's a big ask. And it means we've got to create a really credible business by design. And if you're listening to me, if you're listening to me not for the first time, you know that I have a fundamental belief that in a world of uncertainty, the only way to create certainty is by looking inside for the answers. And that's where I think I play best. You know, because I'm not going to tell you what to do. You know your life, you know your business, you know your career better than anyone. But I'm going to ask the right questions to extract the right information from your subconscious mind that's going to help create this map, create the plan to get you from where you are right now to where you really want to be in the future. And we're going to create a really fun journey for you, a really exciting, purposeful, meaningful journey that's going to take you forwards. Because we need to move forwards, don't we? But not just anywhere. We always want to move forward with purpose, taking progress steps every day to a place that we want to be. So I hope you've enjoyed that, guys. Bit of insight into my world. If it resonates with you, hit me up. Just give me a comment, give me a like, share it, whatever. It'd be really good to hear from you. So I'm Andy Henderson, Sherpa guide from Forward Thinking. If you want some help, if you want to have a chat with me, just mention it in the link below, and we'll get a discovery call going. Whether you're a business person, a professional in a career that you don't like and you want to make a change, or whether you want to improve your physical or mental health, just let me know, and I've got the right network and the right people that work with me to help you get from A to B. So that's Sherpa Guidance episode 62. Great to see you all, and hope to see you very soon. I'll be back live on Friday with some more nuggets of hopefully some wisdom for you. And just remember, guys, you're just one step away.